Are you feeling frustrated and trapped in your job? It's often when we're feeling really stuck in our jobs that we start to think about how great it would be to be a business owner, work our own hours, earn more money maybe. But maybe that's not the whole story we need to think about. Hi, I'm Marianne from One Life to Flourish, and welcome to a series that is for those people who are dreaming about making the leap from their job into being a business owner. So today is episode 4, and my special guest is Zviko. Now, before we begin, we do have a little bit of housekeeping. So first of all, if you know someone who is really dreaming of starting their own business, maybe invite them over to the broadcast. So the easiest way to do that is just to click on the arrow that's down below. Now, we're also going live on a number of Facebook pages. So if you're wanting us to see your comments, please click the link that's up above. Come over and join us on My Time TV. That's the only way we can get to see your comments. So thank you for that. Okay, so back to my question. Are you feeling frustrated and trapped in your job? Do you want to escape? You just need to be a little bit careful when you're thinking about having your own business. It's tough having your own business. Sounds great, but there's a lot of things that you have to do. And you need to make sure that you're ready to face the tough times. So if you're not really passionate about what you want your business to be, it may not be any better than keeping your job. You may just end up feeling frustrated doing your own business as well. So check in with yourself and ask, how passionate am I about this idea? Will I want to keep going with it when times get tough? So something for you to think about for today. So I'd now like to invite my special guest, Zviko from Ambitious Tribe on, and we'll ask her some questions.
Hi, Marianne. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's great. I'm really excited to actually find out a bit more about your story because I know a little bit about it and I'd love to find out more. And I'm sure people who see the broadcast will enjoy what you've got to share with us as well.
Sure.
So maybe if we start with a little bit on your background, because that's part that I know a little bit about. I've heard you tell a little bit about your background. So perhaps if you could talk a little bit about that and where you've come from, what jobs you've done, those sorts of things.
Sure. So I'm originally from Zimbabwe. It's a small African country near South Africa. And I moved here about 5.5 years ago, and I came straight to Adelaide. And I initially came as a student, so I was supposed to go back, but then I loved it here so much that I decided I'm going to stay. And once I got here, I realized that I've always been someone who's very creative. So I've always really enjoyed trying new things, and I've enjoyed reading and writing. Those were always my favorite subjects at school. So that's what I decided to study, majoring in marketing mostly. And I've always enjoyed being online as well. And so the social media trend really caught on in terms of myself and just my circle of friends and colleagues. So I decided to combine all those passions and become a digital marketer. So yes, I did that from the moment. It was actually, I think I got my first job about 6 months after I arrived. Initially, I was actually cleaning toilets and Coles at Coles. You have to start. I really started from the bottom to make ends meet. So I would do that. And then, I would do that every weekend from 5 a.m. to like 10 a.m. And then during the week, I'd be studying and also just getting work experience in marketing. And so that's what I started to do. And I quickly realized that I'm really good at it as well. So I enjoy it and I'm really good at it as well. And that's how my journey started. And since then, it's all been a lot of learning, a lot of experimenting, and also helping others to get the branding and marketing right.
Yeah, that's really interesting, especially working off at Coles. That would have to be one of the really sort of like soul-destroying kinds of jobs, working as a cleaner, I would imagine.
It was definitely, but I'm someone who I was so focused on the reason that I'm doing this. I always just reminded myself when that alarm went off at 4:30 a.m. that it's time to go to work. I just reminded myself that this is only temporary pain, and it's all because I have a big goal in mind. And yeah, so that kept me motivated. And my managers used to always ask me, why are you always so happy to be here? Because most people don't really want to be here. But for me, it was just a step. It's just a step in the right direction for me. So I was happy. Yeah.
Yeah, so obviously you really had that passion and focus that I was talking about in my introduction that helped you to keep on going despite what was happening.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I really agree that the passion definitely has to be there, because then you end up just, it does get tough. So you end up giving up much easier if you're not passionate about what you're working on or what your service or product is. So yeah, I definitely agree. That's the number one priority for me as well, just being passionate.
Mm. Yeah, because without that, it's really hard to keep going. All right, so maybe I'll get you to tell me a little bit now about Ambitious Tribe, your business. So how that's come about and who you help with your business.
So, Ambitious Tribe is for all the ambitious business owners or future business owners. So, how this came about is because through my experience as a marketing expert working in various corporates, I worked initially at a startup, just a high growth startup in Adelaide, and then moved to RAA. So, I've worked with sort of different size businesses, from the smaller ones to the bigger ones. But one trend I noticed is that personal branding is becoming more effective than just the normal branding for your business. So the difference with that is that, for example, people are now prefer to follow the person behind the brand, so the business owner. So they would prefer to know more about Marianne and her expertise rather than just your brand. So yeah, so that's how Ambitious Tribe came about. I position specialists and business owners as the go-to expert in their field, and yeah, and I love it. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've certainly heard you speak about it, and your enthusiasm is amazing for what you're doing. So it inspires me, I have to say, especially
Oh,
after going to your webinar. When was that? A couple of weeks ago that I saw that. It was really inspiring. Gave me lots of good ideas as well.
thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, it was very enjoyable. Made me think about how much I need to work on different things that I'm doing in my business as well. Okay, so basically, one of the things that I really focus on with people starting up their business is the beliefs that they need to actually change to become a business owner. So were there any particular beliefs that were really kind of blocks for you getting into your business, or at different points as you were starting your business?
Definitely. So for me, my biggest issue was perfectionism. I've always been someone who wants everything to be perfect first before I launch it or before I reveal it to the world. And that turned out to just what really helped is working at that startup, because as you know, with small businesses and especially fast growing ones, there's no time to be a perfectionist. You're just going to have to publish and then yeah, learn and fix as you go along. So yeah, so that was definitely something that stopped me from doing a lot of things earlier on. And I think a lot of people probably experience this, where they start to tinker a lot with just the small details. And to be honest, the customers you're talking to don't really care. They're not going to notice the small things. As long as you're providing a good solution, that's all they care about. And that's something I had to learn. Another thing was also just comparing myself to others. So I think a lot of business owners or people who are looking at starting a business, they might look at a peer or something and think, oh my goodness, they're doing so amazing, they're doing so well. Why am I struggling? Or why is this so hard for me? But just remember that this is like social media, right? This is like being on Instagram. Everyone's life looks so fabulous on the outside, but in the background, there's a lot of stuff going on there. And you don't know, you're not told about that stuff. So really, everyone is has their own struggles in their business, no matter how successful they look on the outside. And also, everyone's on a different journey. So some people started a bit earlier than you, and so that's why they've reached this level a bit quicker. So yeah, so definitely don't compare someone else's highlights to your behind the scenes, is what I like to say, because
Yeah.
that'll really get you down. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's true, unless you actually know the person personally, you don't really know what they've gone through. You don't know what their struggles have been along the journey as well, which is why I think it's kind of useful to be part of those communities of other women or other people building businesses where you can get to see what they're going through as well.
Exactly, I agree, and definitely about the communities as well. Because as soon as I started to join communities with different business owners, I realized, a lot of those communities also had business owners who I look up to as well. And then I realized that they're also human and they also have their own struggles, and they might even come to me for help for some things. So yeah, so you realize that really anyone can do it, and as long as you stay focused and you're passionate about what you want to do, you can also make it in business.
Yeah, exactly. And once again, it does go back to that passion, doesn't it? And just keeping things going. But yeah, being part of a community. So last in the last episode, we talked a little bit about the importance of being part of a community. So it's definitely something that I found, being really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so, so we sort of talked a little bit about beliefs that were things that you had to work through. Were there any other particular struggles that you came across that it's probably useful for someone starting a business to know about before they get too far along that track?
I think for me, just on the practical side, so I'm a huge creative and I've always been that way. I also am that stereotypical creative who hates numbers. So to be honest, I didn't really pay attention to the accounting side of things in the beginning because it just bores me and I'm not too interested. I just enjoy the creative side of things. So just from a practical side, I would recommend that everyone sees someone, so an accountant or bookkeeper, as early as possible, because it turns out they're the ones who will tell you, okay, you need this many sales to be able to cover your costs and then to be able to make a profit. And we are doing business, so yes, you're doing something you love, and yes, you're helping others, but it's still a business, and to make it sustainable, you need to be making a profit as soon as possible. So that's one thing I would recommend, just on a practical level. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Know that you need to make money, first of all, and sometimes that can be a block for business owners as well, is that thought of how to ask people for money as well. So I don't know if you've experienced that problem as well.
Yes. So with me, I found initially I was really undervaluing my skills. So I think what happens a lot is that because you know your work so well and your industry so well, you assume that everyone else also finds it easy. So therefore you start to undervalue yourself. So for example, I just always thought I've always enjoyed writing and I've always been good at it. And getting sales from that I always thought, well, anyone can sort of get this messaging really well and do the market research and learn about their audience. But it turns out a lot of people struggle with it. So initially, I was charging really low prices, which weren't covering my costs, just because I assumed, it wasn't a big deal. But it turns out a lot of people out there need your help and they're willing to pay big bucks for it if you can provide a good solution. So my suggestion is always definitely to don't undervalue your work. So definitely, I'd rather you price it a bit higher than you're comfortable with, and then gradually reduce if you're finding that there's too much resistance. So if you're looking at your prices right now and they're very comfortable, you're doing something wrong. You need to like double it or add like 25%. When you start to feel a little bit uncomfortable, that's good.
Yeah.
Because now you're really getting into charging your worth. Yeah.
Yeah, no, very good advice. And that is that I like the idea how you've expressed that of, don't feel comfortable with your prices, put them up so that they're starting to feel a little bit uncomfortable, and then it's getting to about probably the right amount that you need to charge. But that,
Exactly.
yeah,
And you'll start to notice as soon as you get that one sale, like one person pays that high price, a switch goes off in your head, like your mindset completely changes. You realize, oh my goodness, people will pay for this. So yeah, from then on, you're not allowed to. Once you get that one sale, I demand that you not reduce your prices ever
yes,
again. From then on, you're just increasing. Yeah, that's my rule for everyone.
yes, no, I think that's a very good rule, and it's even when it seems, like at the moment we've sort of had times where it's felt, like times are really desperate. I think you still need to be careful not to devalue yourself, even when everyone's telling you it's tough times and that kind of thing, because we are providing services that are of value to people. It does change their lives. And really, if our business isn't doing that, then it's probably not going to be a business actually in the long run, is it?
Exactly. Yeah, it's a good point you make about the pandemic. Obviously, that's affected the economy here and globally. And the interesting thing, though, is that there's still a lot of people who are spending big money. In fact, I would say this is the best time to start your business because a lot of people are realizing that, oh my goodness, you know what, I should be investing in this and I should have invested in this ages ago. Then maybe I wouldn't be in this position at the moment. People are realizing, especially with things like digital products or maybe mindset type of coaching and things like that, that they need it and it's important. So, yes, I would say this is the best time to start a business. And in fact, people are willing to pay, they will find that money. Yeah, you can always do like a payment plan if you want, but a lot of people are willing to pay the full price.
Yeah, that's right. And it's interesting how when people see the value in something, they'll find the money, because there is money out there, as my NLP coach always said. The money's out there. It's just how people choose to use it and direct it. So it's about changing your values if you really want to have a business, and investing in people who can help you to achieve what you want, I think. All
Exactly.
right.
Yeah.
So some great advice that we've got at the moment. So I think probably the last question I'll ask you is around um, the top beliefs that you think a successful business owner or entrepreneur needs to have. So what would you say the top 3 beliefs would be?
So I would say the first one is ambition, which is, makes sense because that's why I wanted to name my brand Ambitious Tribe, because I really do believe you need to be ambitious because that means you're always aiming for a higher level. Um, the next one would probably be resilience. So things are going to get tough, as a lot of people have already experienced in this pandemic, that, nothing is guaranteed and things can change very quickly, and so you have to adapt really quickly. And you have to have a strong mindset and just be resilient and know that tomorrow will be a better day. So just take it day by day, and yeah, and just make sure that you're staying motivated every day and taking care of yourself. So resilience is a big one for me. And then, like you said, like we talked about earlier, passion. So just enjoying the work you do. I can't I can't emphasize this enough, because I find a lot of people also will maybe see that, oh, this business owner is doing really well. There must be a lot of money in this industry, so I'm going to go this route. That's just a bad idea if you're not passionate about it. If it's not
Mm.
something that you would stay up all night working on, don't do it, because it really will cause a lot of frustration, and also even things like mental health issues and things like that. You'll just get really stressed and it's not worth it. So yeah, just find something that you love, even if it seems like it's really niche. There are people out there who love your product. I mean, you enjoy what you do, so there's definitely others who are like you and who need your help. Yeah, so ambition, resilience, and passion.
Yeah, excellent advice. I agree 100% on all of those ones. And if you've got those values, or if you build those values, because of course you can build your values, then you're going to be going a long way towards actually creating a successful business that's going to keep you going and keep you happy and successful for quite a long time, I think.
Exactly. I agree, Marianne.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Zviko. It has been great hearing about your story and your experiences and your wisdom. It's been really good tips that you've brought us today as well. So
Oh,
thank
thank you
you
for
so much.
having me. I've really enjoyed it. And yeah, hopefully we can. I'm looking forward to staying in touch. And if anyone
Yes.
has any questions, you can find me on Facebook. Just search at Ambitious Tribe and you'll find me there, or just Zviko
Yeah.
Masiiwa. And
And
yeah,
I've also put the link up into the comments, but of course that's on My Time TV. So
yes.
make sure you check it out and definitely get in contact with Zviko around her messaging. She's got some amazing knowledge and tips there. So if you're starting your business, you need to get that right. And she's your go-to person. Absolutely.
Thank you, Marianne.
That's okay. All right. Thank you for joining me. And I'll just drop you out now. So thank you very much. Bye. Okay, so hopefully you got some really great information from Zviko and learned something from her experiences as well. And I'm sure it came through to you how important passion really is. So if you would like to work with me on your mindset around starting a business, please head over to my business page, One Life to Flourish. The links are also in the broadcast, and just reach out to me and we could see what we can do. But I've also got something special coming up next Saturday. So there won't be a Making the Leap broadcast next Saturday because I'm doing a special online workshop around 3 key things to think about if you're wanting to become a business owner. So if you are interested in doing that, I will put the links to that into the comments here. Otherwise, just search for Making the Leap online workshop, and hopefully you can find where that is placed around the area. So please join me for that. It should be very interactive and lots of fun. All right. So remember, passion and ambition are really important when you're making the leap. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple of weeks when I talk to another really inspiring business owner. So goodbye for now.